and live. Tonight we're going to do another locks and looks. Chit chat, get ready with me. This is my friend. Introduce yourself. Twaisha.
Hi guys, my name is Twaisha. Just here for laughs, just here for views.
So tonight we're doing another Girl Talks live, and I have a guest with me. So let's get straight into the video. So we're gonna be asking some questions, answering some questions that I asked y'all to send me on Instagram, and I have them right here. So let's get straight into it. The first question for the Girl Talk Night Live is, what's one thing you've learned about yourself this year? Oh, yeah, tell me answer.
Okay, you ready on me?
Anyone?
Okay, I would say one thing that I've learned about myself this year is that I don't have to put up with anyone or anything. If it doesn't align with what I want for my life, I simply shut it off.
One thing I've learned about myself this year is to be more compromising and not selfish, because I feel like I turn very selfish. And oh, sorry y'all, we drinking wine tonight, but the wine is birds and bees. Okay? But if you're new here, because I see people are joining, be sure to like the live. Let's get into the next question. The next question is, what's a friendship red flag that people ignore too often? Fakeness, when people talking behind their backs and can't say nothing to their face. What's a friendship red flag?
Jealousy and comparison.
That's a good one. I just did it for real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, the next question is, would you rather a good partner or a solid group of girlfriends?
I think
You answer.
I think it's more so of a balance for me because, like, girlfriends can't really do what I need my partner to do in a sense. And then my partner can't really relate to me on levels that I need my girlfriends to, relate to me on. So
Yeah, I
it's a
think I
balance.
need a balance for real. Like, you need that balance in life. Like, you really do. Next question. What's the worst date you've ever been on? The worst date I've ever been on is, it wasn't even a date. It was just riding around, getting some drinks. It wasn't a date. It wasn't getting to know. It wasn't nothing. It was just boring. What's the worst date you ever been on?
I don't know why this is on the record, but the worst date that I've ever went on, this guy he asked me out, and we went out to a nice cocktail place or whatever the case may be. But when he came to get me, I'm very changed because I already dressed up, got my makeup done, wearing a nice dress, and you just come looking like John Paul. So now I have to look for a place to sit to hide from people now, and I wanted to style a profile. I think that was the worst date. And then, like, you didn't know how to order, like, my baby, very ghetto sort of time.
Gee. Hi, everybody starting the live. Be sure to like the live. Okay. The next question is, how do you know when you're really healing? But how do you really know when you're healing? Basically how I react to certain situations, because like I tell you before, I'm very petty. So how I react to certain situations let me know that I'm in the healing stage and that I'm trying to be mature. How you know when you're healing?
When I started to do some self-evaluation, when I'm like, could it actually be me per se, or is it this person? And I actually try to look at things from, both standpoints, as opposed to being more so crash out like most persons would say. Yeah.
What's your go-to way to boost your confidence? Self-care. I can tell you that. Self-care.
All I gotta do is get dressed, and honey,
confidence boost. Okay, the next question is, have you ever outgrown a friend? What happened? I outgrown a lot of friends. I outgrown a lot. Like, back in the day, like when I was in high school, I used to have a lot of friends. Like, it was a lot. And I just feel like our values and goals wasn't aligning. And when your values and your goals ain't aligning with somebody, it's the friendship is non-existent. Like, if there's no communication, no build up, no, and I as a low maintenance friend, we can't talk every day and expect me to be normal. I don't talk every day. But if there's no values, no goals, no morals, like, it's no empowerment, no uplifting, no anything we talking about is drama, the friendship just don't serve me. So that's how I know when I go in friendships. What you think?
More so the same thing. If we lack substance in the friendship, then I don't know how much further I can go with any relationship, whether it be friendship, relationship with a partner. anything, if it lacks substance and I don't feel as if it's something that's more so based on some type of solid foundation more so, then I can't really vibe. But like she said, like we don't really have to talk every day, but once I know that you're a friend that I can depend on, and if I really feel as if I'm having that moment and I need someone to talk to and you're there, then I could work with that. But if
Yeah.
we only talking about trauma and people, I don't take
Mm-hmm.
this.
Like,
I don't like
yeah.
mix up with my head into good.
Are you serious for real? That's a good question. How do you know? How do you deal with feeling behind in life? I feel like everybody is go through the stage in
Yeah,
life. Like right now, I feel like I behind, but I ahead. You know.
correct.
So but then I always tell you, and I tell you all this on my live too. There was once a time where we prayed to be where we is now,
Mm-hmm.
and you have people who are younger than us praying to be where we are now. So you just gotta appreciate where you are now, live
Correct.
in the moment, enjoy life because life isn't promised to nobody tomorrow, so you just have to enjoy life, enjoy it for what it is, live in the moment, be present, and just basically accept what it is and
That's it.
let God direct your path. So
For me, I have this one saying that I always tell myself. I say, it's not too good. I always tell myself, Waisha, don't look too far ahead. Look at where you are and look at how far you came from. So, you don't focus on looking at how far you have to go, but look at how far you came from. So let's say for instance you're driving your bike up the hill. You ain't looking further down that hill to
mm-hmm.
see where you go and you're looking, boy, I come from far.
Yeah,
I only
yeah,
get, a couple more steps to go.
yeah, that's a good answer. Okay, the next question is, what's a beauty or look trend that you think is overrated? um
Repeat that for me.
What's a beauty trend or a lock trend that you think is overrated? I think two strands is overrated. Everybody's do that. What beauty or lock trend you think is overrated? Like something back in the day, like what you think overrated? What people do it now?
Um, I would say those ponytails with the two curls. Pet peeve, can't stand.
What ponytail?
When you do like the ponytails at the top up to the bottom, but you have the part with the two curls hanging, like the candy curls hanging to the side of the hair, like the bangs.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's a weird back in the day style.
Yeah.
Drink it down.
I think it's very dry. And
You
I'm
gotta
not
drink
trust
it
nobody
because
tonight.
you ready get it. You ready get it. Okay. What's the next question? What's a non-negotiable in your self-care routine? Toner for me. I need toner and I need a serum. What's a non-negotiable in your self-care routine?
Well, a staple in my self care routine is tuning because I as a lady, I as being a son, I have children. They like the beach, so I gotta keep my complexion
Yeah,
intact.
toner. For real, I need toner.
Yeah.
The next question is, would you date someone who doesn't like your natural hair or your locks?
No.
Hi, honeys. Would you date someone who don't like your natural hair or locks? You have to lock my locks. That's just me. Would you date someone who don't like your natural hair?
No, because most of my first dates, we go into the beach baby because you're gonna have to see exactly
How I
how
look.
these curls and things, these coils is do. Don't mind the looks. I mean, don't mind the wigs, don't mind all the straight silk press I would do. You're gonna have to see like this is puff up, this is a lion paw.
What's a habit you're trying to break or start right now? Overthinking is my habit. Like I overthink about everything, like life, love, friendships, relationships, jobs. I overthink. So overthinking is a habit I trying to break like right now. Hi to everybody that's in the live. Be sure to like the live.
I would say the same, overthinking and over analyzing
Mm.
because you would say A and I'd be to C. I'd be like, you know what? You didn't say this A with a lowercase. You said this with an uppercase. So it have to be this, it have to be that. So that's my major struggle right now. Yeah.
Okay. The next question is, what advice would you give your 18-year-old self? An advice I'd give my 18-year-old self is to love yourself. Really. That's an advice I give my 18-year-old self. To love yourself, love where you are, appreciate where you are. Know that you don't need a man to determine the love that you have for yourself, that you are enough. And yeah, that's the advice I'd give my 18-year-old self because I always felt like I always had to be mature and I always had to just be ahead of my time, which in I was still a child, I was still learning, I was still growing. So that's the advice I'd give myself is to love myself more, figure out what I like, figure out what I want to do, figure out where I want to be, who I want to be, So that's the advice I give my 18-year self. What's yours?
The advice that I would give my 18-year-old self is to be fully selfish because you're still growing, you're still learning. You shouldn't really try to be everything to everybody else if you're not everything to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel as if like all 18-year-olds, even like before, even if you're dating someone, be fully selfish. Allow
Yeah.
people to really, embrace you for who you are until you really discover who because you don't know who you are as yet.
Yeah.
So I'm saying be fully selfish until you learn yourself because you find yourself often, like often at times you find yourself compromising just because you didn't know who you were yet and
Mm-hmm.
what you really liked and what you really stood
Yeah,
for.
what you wanted to
So
do.
yeah, you make plenty of compromises that you really wouldn't make at
And then
this
I feel
age.
like when I was 18, too, I was manipulated.
Yeah,
Like
because you wasn't that really.
you didn't
You
know
wasn't
nothing
headstrong. You
there.
didn't
Like,
really know who you were. You also, and we all often find ourselves being people pleasers because we're trying to keep people around as opposed to actually being like, okay, this is who I am,
and this is what
and
I
this is what I
want.
stand for. If you're not coming with that, then that's it.
Yeah. So that's how I feel too.
So now at this age, I find persons from my past referring to me as a bitch.
Oh, like you selfish,
Yeah,
you don't care,
selfish,
like
and
yeah, just
So I had people tell me that I'm cold because I'm not understanding their reasoning. I'm understanding your reasoning, but that doesn't align with what I really want for myself. So
the values,
you gotta
the
find your
morals.
bracket in a sense.
Yeah, that's a good question too. What's a green flag in a friendship that people should look for? Loyalty, genuineness. Um, I can't really speak on this topic because I only have two friends. I do not have friends, but yeah, loyalty, genuineness, supportive, goal oriented. All of these are green flags you should look for. What you say?
A green flag for me in a friendship because, like I said, I'm not really the friend to say we have to be in communication every day, but you're reliable. Once I feel as if okay, let me call this person because I know they always help me. That's a major green flag for me.
Yeah.
Everything else we can build towards, but once I know you're always there, that's it. Loyalty, that's in a bag. Because we ain't friends if you ain't loyal.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And I need you to be able to answer for me too.
Correct.
Like if I in there, I need you to be able to answer me.
And sometimes I need my friends to be like, girl, you know this seeing you.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Like you need to know me. You have to understand me in a sense. We have to have that type of connection. Whereas I could be like, your thoughts are mine per se. And you know what? I probably just lashing out or acting out in this moment.
Yeah.
But you can,
stay me in the right track. Yeah. For real. That's a good track. What's a dream version of the soft life look like to you? A dream version of the soft life look like to me. Princess, Cinderella, bills paid, happy, living a rich life, accomplishing all my goals, businesses, investments, a family, traveling, communication, like all of these characteristics just show me the soft life. And I smile because I think about it now, like the soft life. What the soft life look for you?
The soft life for me is, really being understood in a sense. I don't have to raise my voice. You understand exactly what I need, when I need it, how I need it. Like, I don't really have to get out of character per se. I don't have to really, get angry. I don't have to do too much because, you understand me, you get me on that level to say, I don't have to ask for anything because it's already provided. Or, I don't have to look too far for what it is that I need because it's already at, arm's length. So that's a soft life for me in a sense. I don't have to think too much. Like when it comes to like vacations, you want to, let me see what trip I want to book over. I don't want to think too much. I want to be like, okay, I'm going to go this day, so I'm going to book this flight, regardless of how much it costs. That's a soft life. I feel like I need this, so I'm going to go to the shop today. I'm going to get this. I ain't worried about what days I get paid on. I ain't worried about when my allowance come in. The soft life is just, living on my,
living on your own terms.
Living
on your own terms.
Not really having to worry about much.
What's one thing you're currently working on within yourself? I'm currently working on communication.
I
feel like I have a lot of communication issues and shutting down when it's the hard conversations. Like I shut down a lot when, like, to avoid having a hard conversation, I shut down. So I feel like that's something that I'm working on currently within myself. What you working on?
Well, currently I'm addressing past traumas. So that's what I'm working on because often at times we find ourselves actually beating persons with the same stick. They could be sincere and genuine towards you. But if you find one little red flag that reminds you of a previous person or whatever, it's like you just lash at them entirely. You're like, you know what? You acting the same way. Like, so it's, but you ain't telling them this, you know. You just speaking them with the same stick. You starting to short answer. You're being distant. So that's something that I'm working on, doing some self-reflection in that area because, you know, it ain't really them. It's me. This is like past trauma, past, or you know, nothing really to do with them per se, but it's more me.
Yeah, for real. What's the most spontaneous thing you've ever done? The most spontaneous thing I've ever done is okay. I do a lot. Yeah, I do a lot. I do a lot.
Hey, baby, don't talk in there.
The most spontaneous thing I've ever done, I would say, what is
I can do it later. I am
zip lining. Zip lining is the most spontaneous thing. What you do?
The most spontaneous thing I've ever done, I have about a few that I'll list to. Parasailing and jumping in an pool.
Oh yeah,
because that was something
that was something. That was something. Now, so
bring it, please, y'all.
What's a piece of beauty advice you swear by? I don't know.
Skincare.
Yes.
Like not every day you're afforded luxury or the time to actually do makeup or you know.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, piece of beauty. And love yourself for who you are. Like,
correct.
Yeah, love yourself for who you are. That's a beauty advice.
Acne and all.
Acne. LOCS, natural, however you look in the moment, love yourself. What's one lesson you had to learn the hard way? One lesson I had to learn the hard way is people are not always going to be who you think they are. You just have to accept them for who they are and decide if you're willing to deal with that or if you ain't willing to deal with that. That's one lesson I had to learn the hard way. And you can't change nobody. Yeah.
One lesson I had to learn the hard way is when people show you who they are, believe them the first time.
Yeah.
Don't let them come to you and say, oh, lay. No, you show me who you was. And I right there
try to ignore the red flag.
Try to give you the benefit of the doubt. This is who you is.
How do you handle jealousy, either from others or yourself? I don't deal with it. And if I do suspect some sort of jealousy, I tell you about it. Like, I didn't like what you do. I more blunt. I don't know. How you handle it?
Well, with jealousy, see, jealousy is a tricky thing. Because with me, growing up with my mom, I watched plenty Lifetime and Fatal Attraction, all these funny stuff. So, like, I think I have a full understanding of how jealousy goes. So, if I would have encountered a friend or even a family member or whatever who I assumed was more so jealous of me. Not really assume, but I could really piece it together and be like, you know, this person really, right. This person ain't really, for me in a sense, and they really jealous of me. I simply disconnect because that ain't something to really play with per se. So I'm not going to address it and give you time to fix it or try and cover it up to come around me and still try to kill me out. So,
and talk to them.
No, I don't talk about nothing because my thing is, if me is supposed to be like that, why are you jealous?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, and then even if, I don't even think I've experienced jealousy like on my end per se, but even if I feel as if I'm like comparing myself in a sense, like being like, man, I'm in a teenage bracket, why I'm really, I tend to do self-reflection because it has a lot to do with me more so than the other person. So self-reflection, but when it comes to a case where jealousy is directed at me, I disconnect. But when I feel as if, you know, I'm sort of, you know, becoming like not really jealous, but comparing in a sense, I do self-reflection.
That's good. What's your favorite way to show yourself love? My favorite way to show myself love is to just stay at home, watch shows, eat ice cream. Basically do what I love. Like, I just appreciate the moment. I like self-love. I just like being myself. So that's me showing myself love.
With me, I tend to feed my spirit, like soul foods, cravings, and stuff like that. Anything that I would, like, I felt if I wanted or deserved for the week, I would like, you know, we're gonna get a pound salad or some ice cream, or you know, have me a bottle of wine. I would read, like, more so everything to like feed my inner self per se, as opposed to, you know, and like, of course, you gotta top it off a little bit of retail therapy. So
yeah,
I find myself shopping on the internet, buying stuff that I don't really need, but just because I deserve it. So.
How do you stay grounded when life get overwhelming? I pray.
Pray.
I pray because only God can get you through
Pray
a lot of
and
life
read.
things.
I find myself reading scripts I never even knew nothing about. I like often nowadays I just find myself opening my Bible. And it's like, if it's something for me to see or to help me at like on the journey that I am on now, it can be there. So I can open my Bible and read. Even if what I read don't make no sense to me in that moment, I'd find myself on YouTube
looking
or
at
TikTok,
sermons,
just like
podcasts.
typing in like captions based on the way I feel more so to get through it.
That's true. Okay, what's the next one? Would you ever do a social media talks? Why or why not? Me personally, I do it socially. I haven't been okay. Where I'm from, Facebook is very negative. So from the last year, I just deleted the app and I just focus on the things that matter the most. Like I have Instagram because I follow a lot of inspiring people on there. I have TikTok because I follow a lot of inspiring people on there. But Facebook to me is like a really negative app, and I deleted it because I didn't want my mind to be cluttered with negativity. So I always do like a social media detox. I had Twitter some years ago, and from I deleted the app, I never looked back. So yeah, it's negative. Hi, honey. Would you ever do the social media detox and why?
Oh, definitely. I'm currently on one from Facebook per se. Because I find myself, with me, I'm a person I like jokes. Even if it has nothing to do with me, I would share it and just like leave a caption just for the jokes. But that's interfering like with my, love life. Because, they're like, oh, so you use this type, but I ain't really that type. I just say it for the jokes. So I have to do a detox until I learn to, disconnect or, But yeah.
What's your that girl routine, or do you even believe in that? That girl is basically building a life that you want. Like, what's your that girl? A that girl routine
My
is
that
for
girl
me.
routine. My that girl routine. Basically, I mean, it's self-explanatory. Anything that makes you feel like that girl. With me, what makes me feel that girl, I can't stand to be rushing. So if I have to wake up at 5 a.m., I wake up at 5 a.m. I'm making my breakfast, making my
So you
tea.
take a 5 a.m. every morning?
Yeah, man.
How you train yourself to like?
It comes over time. But making my breakfast, making my tea, getting my girls up, getting them ready. Because I feel as if you don't have to rush, it like eliminates all areas for like frustration, confusion, and stuff of that sort. So if I have a slow paced morning or a slow paced day, it already gets me off to a good start, and I'm knocking out like half the things I have to do. So if I'm up at 5, by the time it's 7, 8 o'clock when I already getting ready to go to work, I already have my day planned out per se, and everything's like smooth sailing. So whatever made me feel like that girl, let's say skincare, I have enough time within my day, my morning to do my makeup. I have enough time within my morning to like pick out a nice outfit that makes me feel like that girl. I could curl my hair, I could do whatever I want to do to make me feel like that girl. I could read, I could get some inspirational quotes, and I could, boost my confidence in a sense. I could get a nice little hug and kiss from my babies. Man, I love you, you're the best. That makes me feel like that girl.
Yeah. My that girl routine definitely have to be. I use these two quotes: consistency and discipline. And a quote that's always stick with me is consistency, no matter the result. So that means just being consistent, whether that's in workout, whether that's in posting regularly, whether that's in cooking, whether that's in being healthy. I feel as though that's my that girl routine. Also reading, because I do a lot of reading, and I can finish a book in literally 2 days tops. So I feel like that's my that girl routine, basically building consistency and discipline for myself. And also financial goals as well. Like I want to be consistent. And as long as I consistent and disciplined, then the good results will come. So I feel like that's my that girl routine. Okay. How do you deal with loneliness even when you're around people? For me, I like being alone, so I don't deal with loneliness. I really don't deal with it, but I don't know. How do you deal with loneliness? You feel like you feel alone?
I don't be alone because I have 2 kids and they are a lot within itself. But when it comes to like, I don't think I'm ever lonely because I think I'm content with being alone. Like I find it's like more solitude in a sense because I could actually go to a bar or a restaurant and sit down by myself and be content because it ain't no extra BS. You don't have to worry about no one screaming, being like, because I'm a person that's easily annoyed. So I prefer to be alone in a sense. I don't know if that makes me aware or whatever, but I don't care. But
it is what it is.
I just like, even if I'm just home watching a movie, like honestly, I would say like 6 times out of 10, if someone message me and I'm writing, I'll be like, oh, I'm at work or I'm really busy. I'd be home laying down, binge watching shows, and
Yeah.
just shut off from the outside world because I need to regroup. So I think that's important also. So you wouldn't feel as if you're alone if you like you work a lot or you have
Grounded.
like you know you have a lot to do when you're grounded like within yourself. You're trying to build yourself and stuff of that sort. So I think I have the point where I feel alone.
Okay. Who inspires your style or confidence the most? Especially like a social media influencer, somebody who inspires my style and confidence the most. I would say Jada Waiter and Ari Fletcher. Love those two down. Business owners, influencers, literally build their community from scratch. They inspire me a lot. Multi millionaires, just doing everything that they put their mind to. They inspire me a lot. Who inspire me?
I would say my mood and my kids
Mm-hmm.
because some days I just feel like you know what, Raisha, you've been mothering too hard. It's about time you get a just like a bad beat. So just like a bad beat. Some days I'm like, I'm a young mother, so I should dress nice and modest, nice and prestige. And then some days I have days when my kids be like, Mommy, why you dress like this? You look like a farmer. One day I don't know, one of those mom jeans with a camisole t-shirt, and some like really like shoes. My daughter's like, you look like a farmer. Because you drop me to school like that.
Oh my God. You don't have a plan. You have any plan? No.
Say what?
You have any plans? No.
Plans?
You should
In the
try
back.
it. But I mean, you should try it. Like, it is. Y'all look my rosemary plant was dying right now, currently.
I don't want nothing to do with it.
What's one thing you wish women talked about more openly? Their feelings, express their women have a lot of emotions and feelings, and I think that's very hard for us to open up and talk to people about our feelings or how we feel, or if it's something offend us, like line like that. But I deal with situations where people is like that, and I wish people could be more blunt and open like me. Like if something happened in my face, I cannot sugarcoat it. I have to say right then and there what happened, how I feel about it. I can't be fake. I just can't. So I feel like I wish more people was more blunt and open to me and talk more about like accomplishing things rather than men. Like what you
Yeah.
think?
I feel as if persons should discuss more childhood traumas or childhood hurts because you would never know a person
Okay.
if you don't know their childhood or their their background history per se. Because we could be vibing. I wouldn't know anything about you per se as opposed to what try to pretend to be who you try to pretend to be now. But deep down or underneath the surface there's still a lot of childhood hurt, childhood trauma and stuff like that. So if we don't address those issues, see basically, they're still who you are basically, and they're still triggers. So I wouldn't know how to deal with you if I don't really know some backstory or some context of who you really are.
That's real talk. Okay, guys, so we're getting into our this or that segment where we choose either this or we
How much
choose that.
stuff this is you have me in tonight?
That's not the last one. So yes, so this is the this or that segment. So we're either gonna choose this or we're gonna choose that. Basically, I would rather. Okay, so beauty and style. Do you rather a bold lip or do you rather a bold eye? Give me a bold lip, bold eye, bold eye.
Yeah, because I don't have my eyes usually that.
Do you rather your hair up or do you rather your hair down?
Down.
I rather my hair up, comfortably. Do you rather full glam or do you rather natural beat?
Natural beat.
Mean natural beat. Do you rather heels or do you rather sneakers?
Sneakers.
Sneakers. No, I lied. Heels. I can't do it.
But it all depends on the occasion. But sneakers.
I don't even wear sneakers. When you work on it. Okay, do you rather gold jewelry or do you rather silver jewelry? Silver. Okay, this is lifestyle or self-care, this or that. Do you rather a night out or a cozy night in?
Cozy night in.
Do you rather solo self-care or a deals night out? Solo self-care. Do you rather journaling or venting to a friend?
Journaling.
Do you rather skincare or do you rather hair care? Skincare. Do you rather soft life or hustle hard? Hustle hard.
A mixture of both.
Hustle hard. Do you rather texting or FaceTime?
FaceTime.
Do you rather loyalty or honesty?
Loyalty.
Honesty. Do you rather love at first sight or slow burn? Love at first sight. What's the other?
Slow burn. Because it's like consistent. You know, like most
Build
persons.
up a
Yeah, it's a build up because I saw a post the other day. It was like, don't look for a spark in a person, but look for a fireplace. You know, consistent. As opposed to, you know, what you get in the beginning.
That's true.
Usually fades.
True. But I wish the beginning could just not happen.
It is, unfortunately. But for some people, it does.
Do you rather a romantic partner or a best friend first? Best friend first. Do you rather staying single and glowing or date and glowing?
What?
Date
Dating
and
glowing?
glowing.
Why would I want to be glowing? Like, what's the difference?
I'm serious. So y'all, that is the end of our Girls Talk night. I hope y'all enjoy it. If you're watching this on the replay, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.